Thanks for visiting our channel again. The legendary Meryl Streep is a symbol of perfection, success, and popularity. In addition to her legendary acting skills, her name has become a monument in the world of cinema. However, despite appearances, her life has not been a string of continuous successes. Unbeknownst to most, behind every lauded achievement and outstanding performance are personal battles, tragedies, and sacrifices. Meryl Streep has overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles while basking in the glory of her acting career. Between the anguish of losing her soulmate and the crushing weight of conforming to an ideal that is never satisfied, what kept her going through those tough times? What has kept Meryl Streep's charisma and charm going strong for almost half a century? Come along as we explore the unexpected sides of Meryl Streep's life, which is sure to be an emotional roller coaster. Mary Louise Streep, better known as Meryl Streep, was born into an illustrious intellectual family in Summit, New Jersey on June 22, 1949. Her father, Harry William Streep Jr., was a pharmaceutical executive known for his rationality and discipline, while her mother, Mary Wilkinson Streep, was an artist known for her passion and independence. The unusual harmony that this family achieved between creativity and pragmatism had a profound impact on Meryl's outlook on life and her professional trajectory. Meryl Streep was never thought of as a traditional beauty model when she was a kid. She came clean about her past self as a tiny girl with thick spectacles and wild, unmanageable curls. Suddenly, Meryl felt completely alone. She had always doubted her ability to draw attention to herself. Despite living in what appeared to be an unforgiving world, Meryl's mother remained the sole believer in her daughter's abilities. If Meryl had faith in herself, she could accomplish anything, she would tell her time and time again. Meryl found tremendous inspiration in these words of support, which gave her the courage to pursue goals she had never before considered. In Meryl's experience, Bernard's High School was the most difficult. She frequently felt out of place due to her lack of self-assurance and unattractive appearance. Meryl, on the other hand, found a safe haven where she could change personas and forget her real identity when she took part in artistic pursuits, particularly school plays. She found an outlet for her emotions and the ability to overcome obstacles through acting. Renowned vocal teacher Estelle Liebling began teaching Meryl opera when she was 12 years old. Meryl quickly came to terms with the fact that opera was not her calling, despite the fact that her voice was powerful and expressive. She opted to pursue acting instead, seeing it as a medium that would allow her to unleash her boundless imagination. Meryl chose to continue her artistic career at the highly esteemed Yale School of Drama after graduating with honors from Vassar College. In order to cover her school expenses, she worked relentlessly here, performing in over a dozen productions annually. She became exhausted from all of her efforts and even acquired a stomach ulcer as a result of the stress. For a while, Meryl contemplated switching careers and becoming a lawyer instead of an actress, but her devotion to the arts ultimately prevailed. Passionately embarking on a career in performing, Meryl Streep graduated from Yale School of Drama. It wasn't always a fairy tale when she first took the stage. New York theater performances such as Trelawney of the Wells 1975 were Meryl's first acting gigs. Despite the lack of popularity for these parts, Meryl's performances were highly regarded by theater reviewers and directors. Her remarkably nuanced acting skills and the inner fortitude she contributed to every role were more important in her discovery than her glitz and unique appearance. As she became more successful on stage, doors opened for her in the film industry. Her first film role was in 1977's Julia, which also starred Jane Fonda and Vanessa Redgrave. Meryl started to attract the attention of filmmakers despite her minor role. Meryl Streep's breakthrough came in 1978 with her performance in The Deer Hunter, which earned her a Best Supporting Actress Oscar nomination. Her portrayal in 1979's Kramer vs. Kramer earned her her first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress only a year after her breakthrough role. Meryl played the role of Joanna in Kramer vs. Kramer, a mother who takes a break from her son to find herself only to end up in a custody struggle. Using a combination of nuanced character development and profound emotion, Meryl's acting chops were on full display in this part. Despite her brief appearances on screen, each one was significant and unforgettable. During this time, Meryl Streep's career took a dramatic change. She swiftly rose to prominence as one of Hollywood's most gifted actors after a stellar career on stage. Though her roles in Kramer vs. Kramer and The Deer Hunter catapulted Meryl Streep to Hollywood stardom, her breakout performance came in 1982's Sophie's Choice. Not only did her portrayal of Sophie in Sophie's Choice win over viewers, but she also received rave reviews from critics. Among Meryl's most demanding and intricate performances to date was that of Holocaust survivor Sophie Zawistowski. Meryl, who played a woman whose conscience was heavy with guilt, masterfully juggled the film's English and polished dialogue. There are few scenes as memorable as the one in which Sophie must decide between her two children. This part cemented Meryl's place in cinematic history and garnered her second Academy Award for Best Actress. Due to her consistent appearances in a string of outstanding films, Meryl Streep's career took off in the 1980s. In the 1985 Kenyan romance drama Out of Africa, she co-starred with Robert Redford. Commercially successful and garnering Meryl another Oscar nomination, the picture was a smashing hit. As the self-reliant and introspective Karen Blixen, Meryl showcased her acting chops in a variety of roles. Despite the dramatic shift from her earlier melancholy roles, Meryl gave a powerful performance as Karen Blixen. Meryl also starred in Silkwood 1983, set in the same decade, playing the role of Karen Silkwood, a worker at a nuclear power facility who fights for her rights. In this part, she not only received her second Oscar nomination, but she also solidified her reputation as an actress capable of playing powerful characters dealing with weighty societal issues. Despite her reputation for doing dramatic roles, Meryl Streep shone her versatility by branching out into comedic roles. She played the title part in the 1990 film adaptation of Carrie Fisher's book Postcards from the Edge. A struggling actress whose life is overshadowed by her renowned mother was portrayed by Meryl. The picture was groundbreaking not just for its genre but also for the nuance and wit it displayed in her acting. This change allowed Meryl to prove to the film business that she could hold her own in both tragic and comedic parts, which helped her retain her top spot. Another landmark for Meryl was her foray into dark comedy in 1992's Death Becomes Her. She collaborated on a one-of-a-kind, whimsical comedy with Bruce Willis and Goldie Hawn. The picture became a comedic classic and did well at the box office. A new chapter in Meryl Streep's career began in the 2000s. She became more approachable to younger viewers in 2006 thanks to her portrayal of Miranda Priestly in The Devil Wears Prada. One of Meryl's most famous performances was as the frigid and strong editor-in-chief of a fashion magazine, Miranda Priestly. Meryl gave the role substance, causing viewers to admire and fear the character despite her ruthlessness and difficulty. The picture did well at the box office and nominated Meryl for another Academy Award. Meryl Streep proved she could handle it all from acting to singing in the 2008 musical film Mamma Mia, despite the fact that she is not a professional singer. The upbeat and energetic vibe of the film gave Meryl a fresh lease of life and introduced her to audiences of all ages. Meryl Streep's portrayal of Margaret Thatcher in 2011's The Iron Lady wowed audiences all around the globe. Meryl not only changed her appearance to play the role of the British Prime Minister, but she also managed to embody the character's intricacies and subtleties. Few actors can boast her third Academy Award for her faultless performance. Meryl Streep has turned 60 years old and is still taking on challenging assignments. From her role as a stern nun in 2008's Doubt to that of the famed chef Julia Child in 2009's Julie and Julia, Meryl has always shown her immense ability as an actress. Not only have these parts contributed to her legendary position, but they have also brought fresh accolades to her already stellar career, as well as constructive criticism and positive reviews from her peers. Meryl Streep has been a successful actress for almost 50 years, but she has also been the target of criticism from her peers. Remarks made by the late, great Katharine Hepburn regarding Meryl Streep are among the most famous. Hepburn spoke it like it was in an interview. Meryl Streep was overly dedicated to acting and couldn't stop reciting lines. Meryl paid close attention to detail in her performances, from her voice to her body language, in contrast to Hepburn's forceful and natural acting style. Hepburn thought all this fussing was pointless and over the top. Even if it might have been only a matter of different work methods, the public was captivated by criticism from a legend like Katharine Hepburn. Another well-known and gifted actress from the 90s, Susan Sarandon, likewise complained that Meryl Streep was constantly given the lead. Sarandon made the observation in an interview that other actresses were given less opportunity to shine, as every major female role in films went via Meryl first. Numerous co-workers began to feel envious since they believed that they, too, should have been given the same chance and recognition as Meryl. Even Sarandon made a joke about Meryl's suicidal ideation if her private life matched the media's idealized portrayal of her. These remarks exemplified part of the stress and anxiety that came from going up against someone widely considered the film industry's queen. The comment that Meryl Streep looks like an ordinary woman was made by Sharon Stone, another Hollywood icon, and was quite controversial. Stone said that the reason Meryl was so well liked by the public was because she lacked the typical Hollywood attractiveness. Stone made a comparison between herself and Meryl, claiming that Meryl had better looks but was able to secure more prominent parts. Sharon Stone claims that the reason Meryl Streep was so beloved was because she made people feel at ease and close to the character. She became the undisputed ruler of all roles. Many in the Hollywood world felt strongly about this comment. Some people agreed with Sharon Stone that Meryl's success had more to do with her acting than her looks, but a lot of people thought Stone was being overly jealous with his comments. The capacity to inhabit a character and establish an emotional connection with the audience is more essential than outward beauty, as Meryl Streep had demonstrated. Karl Lagerfeld, the famed fashion designer, was involved in another high-profile scandal involving Meryl Streep. Meryl had already placed an order with Chanel for a design in 2017 while getting ready for the Oscars, but she later asked for alterations. Lagerfeld interpreted this as a sign that Meryl disdained his work. He said Meryl turned down his design because she was given more money by another designer. Meryl got right on it, denouncing Lagerfeld's accusation as slanderous and affirming that she had never asked for money to wear clothes designed by any designer. Despite taking a lot of heat, Meryl Streep is still well-liked and regarded by her peers in the industry. The Deer Hunter and Angels in America co-star Al Pacino gushed about Meryl, calling her the most committed actor he'd ever encountered. He stressed that her genuineness and dedication to her art were what set her apart, regardless of her level of fame. Among today's most adored and gifted Hollywood actresses, Viola Davis, there is widespread affection for Meryl Streep. As she put it, Meryl paved the way for all of us. Meryl has been an enormous influence on her career. Personal: despite Meryl Streep's fame as an accomplished and influential film performer, her life off-screen is replete with deep experiences, tragic losses, and an extraordinary commitment to her loved ones. John Cazale, the brilliant actor most known for playing Fredo Corleone in The Godfather, was a romantic interest of Meryl Streep when her career took off in the late 1970s. Their romance flourished the moment they crossed paths on the set of a Shakespearean play. The friendship Meryl had with the renowned actor John Cazale inspired her to devote herself more fully to acting. But when Cazale received the devastating news that she had terminal lung cancer, their romance took a serious turn. Meryl was there for Cazale in his last days, providing comfort and companionship during his darkest hours. She forewent several professional chances to be at his side, even relocating to the hospital where Cazale was receiving treatment up to his death in March 1978. Meryl Streep's personal life took a terrible hit with the death of John Cazale. Caring for Cazale in his final days taught her to persevere in the face of adversity, and she has spoken about how her love for him taught her resilience. The loss of Cazale was devastating, but it also served as a catalyst for Meryl to forge ahead in her chosen profession with renewed vigor and resolve. Meryl Streep found solace in love with sculptor Don Gummer just 6 months after Cazale passed away. At one point, Gummer was Meryl's brother's best friend. He had assisted her in gathering Cazale's possessions following his death. An innocent first meeting blossomed into a long and fulfilling romance. Even though Meryl Streep and Don Gummer's marriage only took a few months to consummate, it has since become one of Hollywood's most legendary partnerships. They tied the knot in September 1978, and have been blissfully married for more than 4 decades. Over the years, Meryl and Don have raised a strong family with 4 children: guitarist Henry Wolf Gummer, actresses Mamie, Grace, and Louisa, and singer Henry Wolf Gummer. The media has never pried into Meryl and Don Gummer's personal lives. Meryl has said that Don is the reason she has been able to keep her acting career going without sacrificing her family life, but they rarely appear together at events. In the background, he has always been there for Meryl, helping out around the house and with the kids so that she can concentrate on her career. "I couldn't have done it without Don," she said once. Meryl Streep has made it a point to keep a healthy work-life balance for herself and her family. She has always put her family first, regardless of her professional accomplishments. Despite enduring periods of separation from her loved ones due to filming obligations, Meryl has consistently prioritized spending time with her spouse and children, so that she can easily get home to her family after a long day on the job. She frequently chooses film projects that are close by or shoot in places that are handy for them. Meryl Streep is an accomplished actress and a loving mother. She has instilled in her 4 children a strong sense of autonomy and encouraged them to pursue their individual passions. Mamie, Grace, and Louisa, her 3 daughters, are all actresses or are in the process of becoming one. Meryl has always encouraged her children to pursue their dreams and given them the freedom to do so, even though she is well aware of the difficulties that come with being an actress. Meryl Streep has proven time and time again that her family is her first priority, regardless of her professional accomplishments. She has become an icon in both her professional and personal life as a result of her passion for her work and her commitment to her family. Imprint and perseverance among Hollywood's living legends, Meryl Streep has been a mainstay for over half a century. She had an enormous impact on generations of actors past and present, and she stands out for her flexibility in roles and commitment to the art. Not only are her accomplishments proof of her talent, but they also serve as an inspiration to others who love acting. Among Hollywood's most prominent actresses, Meryl Streep ranks high. Meryl has shown her mettle at the pinnacle of her profession with an unprecedented 21 nominations and 3 wins at the Academy Awards. Meryl Streep has received 32 nominations and won 8 Golden Globes, making her the record holder for most nominations. Her status as one of the most consequential actors of all time is further cemented by this. Meryl is a towering emblem of acting prowess, having received countless honors including Emmys, BAFTAs, and SAG Awards, among many others. The achievements and acclaim bestowed upon Meryl Streep are the product of her dogged determination and an abundance of natural skill. Whether it's a somber picture like Sophie's Choice or a musical like Mamma Mia, Meryl has always managed to reinvent herself and bring new vitality to every part. Critics and spectators alike hold Meryl's performances in the highest esteem. On top of that, Meryl Streep has been an incredible role model for actors of all stripes. Because of her skill and commitment, she has changed the way performers take on and live out their parts. Many younger performers look up to Meryl Streep as an example of how to keep going even when things get tough, and how to always be better at what you do. Among today's most gifted and esteemed actors, Viola Davis has often spoken about how much she admires Meryl Streep. According to Davis, Meryl paved the way for other female performers to follow in her footsteps by demonstrating how to confidently take on challenging parts. Viola once thanked Meryl for his efforts to the film industry and stated, "He's opened doors for all of us." Current life Meryl Streep is still going strong at 70 years old, despite the fact that many of her fellow performers have decided to retire and leave the business altogether. In addition to being an incredibly hardworking wife and mother, she is also an incredibly prolific artist. Her unwavering devotion and enthusiasm for the arts demonstrate her eternal enthusiasm. As always, Meryl Streep keeps her personal life under check. She is very close to her husband, Don Gummer, and their children, and she keeps that link strong, as well as how they have served to anchor her in the face of the intense pressures of the Hollywood industry. Regarding her career, Meryl is always working on new films and projects. Her 2019 performances in Little Women and Big Little Lies further added to the acclaim she received. This demonstrates that Meryl Streep is still in high demand as an actress in Hollywood, even though she is 70 years old. She not only keeps performing at a high level, but she also pushes herself to new limits by taking on increasingly difficult parts. In addition to being a symbol of cinematic greatness, Meryl Streep personifies courage and perseverance when pushed to her limits. Do you find her motivational journey inspiring? Leave a comment with your opinions on Meryl Streep's impact on film and her unforgettable performances. Follow our channel to learn more about other notable people and the intriguing stories behind their lives. If you're interested in stories like these, make sure you don't miss out on any upcoming great material by hitting that like button and subscribing.